watching your content explode.
So
getting after it. Just getting after it.
So
no joke.
Shawn always says, Christian is saying, like, he used to own an auto body shop and got addicted to video games and, got really comfortable. So one thing that Shawn always says is, like, show me your habits, or like show me, right? Like show me your rituals and I'll tell you where you're at. Or can you talk more about that?
Yeah, well, for 2 years, I started studying my own habits, where it started. Why can't I progress the way that I believe I can? I was trying to scale in certain areas of my life, mainly my marriage. And I realized the habits that I had weren't conducing a winning environment for me and my wife. I had these little habits where I wouldn't do the little things around the house. I wouldn't do the little things like trash. Her love language is service, and I wouldn't help her with the garden, all these little things that I'm like, dude, I have to go do that because I'm building this company and I don't have time for the little things with my wife. So that became habitual. That's just a pattern that I would live over and over. And so once I changed the habit of not helping to helping, because anytime you replace a habit, you have to take the habit, remove it, and put another habit in its place. Therefore, you'll stick to it. So when I would break away on a Sunday to come work for a couple hours, instead of leaving to come right to work, I'd go in the garden with my wife and move 50-pound bags, move the clay, big-ass clay pots, and not have her do that on her own. The laundry, little things, crazy. Pull the laundry out of the dryer, fold it and put it away. And she was like, oh my gosh, you did that, thank you. Little things like this have completely dominated the passion in my love life because of my habits changing. And the one thing I couldn't get under control is, this bothers me. I asked my wife 2 years ago if I was her dream husband, if I was her dream man, and she said no. She said, I love you, but no, you're not. And that's when the addiction came in to fix that through habits. I've replaced the habits of her doing her thing, me doing my thing. We structured goals together, and then I put the habits in that allow her to become that woman that she needs to become to hit her goals. And then now she's also allowed me to hit my goals by not constantly asking me, when am I going to be home? Are we doing dinner? We have this beautiful habitual type, I call them rituals now, lifestyle that we created. So ask her now if I'm the man of her dreams. It's a yes. But it took me a couple of years to get there. That's all I wanted to do because we did well with each other. Our relationship, the company relationship, that was on fire, and my marriage was like lame. So habits, through habits.
Christian was also asking about, he goes, what's the LA Group's core values? And I'm like, oh, it's funny that you say that because I actually have a mirror that's right next to my bedstand that I have. It's a mirror.
Yeah.
Jesse gave it to me like my first week working here. And it's a mirror. And on the mirror, I wrote down all of our core values. And at the bottom, I put, I am the one.
Yeah.
So every morning when I wake up, I look at that and I read it.
That's beautiful.
Because it's just reprogramming, right? So I was talking to Christian about all the core values and I was just reading it out to him. But like, which one is like your favorite core value, or like what's the one that sticks with you the most out of any of them? Because you helped design them, right? Like I
wrote them with Jacqueline
and picked them out.
Yeah, with Jacqueline and I wrote them one day, and at the time they were just words. To really instill core values takes a lot. Every day you have to talk about them. But we are a family of choice, or loyalty is our bond. We working for Andy, we're in such a high pressure state all the time. What's the first thing that you do when you're in a high pressure situation? It could be cheat, right? You could cheat the process because you feel the pressure. There's a lot going on at work and we're constantly moving fast. And if you see that angle to where you can maybe skate one of your family members inside the den for a paycheck or a sell or more clout with Andy, do you choose to do that? In the beginning, we did. And it wasn't aggressively being done. It was just like we were moving. If that cell should be mine, that cell should be yours. And it was just this wave of chaos. So when we wrote the family of choice, our loyalty is our bond. Well, if we're loyal to each other, and that's our bond, because it's not blood, right? Family of choice is I choose you to be in my life, so we're not blood related. And the loyalty that's going to bond us like blood, the loyalty bonds us like blood, well, then I wouldn't take that deal if you'd been working on it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 6 months, because it's a $10,000 deal. I would say, here you go. I took the money. I took the deal. I did it all. Here you go. That's for you. That's the loyalty. That took up until about 4 or 5 months to really instill. For 2 years, we worked on that. That's really been a powerful move in the company to get everybody on that same page. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Does it still happen? Not as much. But that's the most powerful one for me, because you guys are my family. I don't have anything outside of the Elliott Group. So when people don't give their all, I get pissed. I get upset because you guys have other things, and I appreciate that. I don't. So when you don't play for your full potential and you're taking over advantage over one of the family members, it bothers me, and I just don't let it happen and try to monitor that.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people, where they fall out, whether that be in the Elliott Group or in their own companies, is people forget to continuously date the company, or date whoever it is that they work for. And I'm not talking about romantic dating, but I'm talking about, like playful flirting. Like, are every single day, are you giving it your all when you come into the company? Or are you giving your boss or your leaders or your management team a reason for them to fire you? Because every single day I think to myself, I have to work hard as if Andy were to fire me today. That's always been like a big fear of mine. Or like my boss. Like, I don't want my boss to fire me. So I come in acting like, you know what, today may be my last day. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I'm securing my spot in the company every single day. And that's where it comes with the dating. So like providing more revenue, providing more energy, providing more, like contributing or consuming. Have to be constantly contributing, because if you consume, it bleeds throughout and people find out.
Well, you feel that. You ostracate yourself. Ostracate. How's the word?
Ostracate.
Ostracize. That's the word. Ostracize yourself. You won't last in this company. We won't allow it. And it's not like I'll pick on you, yell at you, fire. I don't yell, do I?
No.
Do I ever yell? I never yell. I do not yell. But I have a way of making you feel really uncomfortable within the company if you're not leaning in on the core values. You're not a person that contributes back. And if you just take all of our love, our energy, and our passion, and you consume it all, and you give nothing in return, you're no value to this company. That's how it creates an awkward movement between me and other people when that happens. And then eventually they just quit, because everybody feels that. You can feel the risks in this company. When I'm going toe to toe, and it's not a great situation with me and the Macklins, you feel it in the whole aura of the company. And then we fix that right away. Or when Chris and I are explaining, I've never had not been on the same page yet. She kills it.
What the heck? Like it is gonna happen or something?
It's a young. We got many years together. I'm sure something will happen. Cut that. No, I'm just kidding. But you can feel it in this company because we're so close. We're with each other, 7 days a week, literally?
Yeah.
Church, Saturdays.
Even church.
We were growing up together.
Yeah.
And so if I'm off because of my attitude, or the Macklins do something, and if that riff doesn't get settled in hours, it will bleed into the culture of the company, and you can feel like a cloud coming in on us, and we don't allow that.
Yeah.
We move swift.
Yep.
So the Macklins and I will step outside, or Stein or Danny, whoever that is, we step outside, we handle that difference to move on for the team, for the family, so they don't have to feel that pressure of us being off. Because when you're that tied together, your aura, your energy, it's everything in the company. You can't afford to be off more than a couple hours. We used to let shit linger for a week. Not who we are now. We can't. That's not our identity. Family of choice, loyalty is our bond. If you read that and you stepped outside of it, give the deal back, make it right, be the man or woman you need to be, make it work.
Yeah, Andy always says creating your own reality and economy, and that's exactly what we do here. And it's crazy. It's so strong and infectious inside the Ellie group. Like, we all have magnetic energy. Every single, each individual person, whether you're somebody that's maybe a little bit more of an introvert, like Danny Klein versus myself, either way, like, we all have these wonderful, beautiful personalities. So when you step outside of the Ellie group or you go someplace else, you're like, where's my family back again? Right. Like, you're looking for those people that, that lift you up or have that energy. And gosh, it's just so infectious. And that's why we do such a great job, I think, of protecting everybody that's inside, because one slip up person can come in and they do poison the rest. And
it happens fast. That's why we ostracize is the word. That's why we ostracize you. And you'll do that to yourself. And then you look at the outside coming in. This is another powerful move. We have 2 people outside of the Elliott Group that work for another company that have set up home base in their camp here and have become a part of the family. One guy is Tyler Glennon. There's another guy, TJ. And you watch these men bring their families into us, be close to us, Tyler's the number one in his company by far, took over an entire insurance division in less than a year. And then TJ, who's completely recreated his marriage and his life and his businesses by being close to what we do, living by these core values. Because you can adopt our core values and make them your own until you get your own core values. And that's what I did when I first started doing this. I adopted other man's core values. I implemented in my life. I lived that lifestyle with core values. And then I took the core values and talked to Jacqueline, and we agreed that, yeah, we need core values within the company. So reinventing yourself is the best part about everything that you're going to do. And then being honorable in your word is everything else in life, really.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm excited to be here. This is awesome.
Do you want to say anything else while we're sitting here? Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
There's so much I could talk about. What's the one thing that you need?
What's the one thing that I need?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Can we talk about that? What's the one thing she needs? Because Selena is self-sufficient. I forget she even works here. Like, she's always winning. Like, she wins. She doesn't bring a bad attitude. Her mind is so powerful that if she's off, I know when she's off now because I know her well enough, but you can't tell. The average person or someone close to her, you have to be really close to her. Like, my wife and I and the Elliots are really close to her. So what's the one thing you need? Because I never asked you, how can I help you? How can I serve you? What you just go, and I don't want you to think I take advantage of that. So what's the one thing that I could do better for you?
I don't know. That's such a tough question.
She's a machine.
She
goes nonstop.
I just kind of take it all and I do it all. You know, one thing I actually would like to get back with doing is a more structured schedule.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of the times I'm like, just do it all.
Yeah.
Like as soon as and then I'll think of this person. I'm like, oh, I got to call this guy real quick. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot to mail this out. Go do that real quick. And it's just kind of everywhere. But I think I used to have my days like plan out by the hour. And I remember actually I would set my alarm every single hour.
Yep. I went away from that too. I used to do that as well. I went away from it.
And you get so busy. And then you get people that just call in and they're like, hey, run my card. I'm ready to buy the VIP ticket. And so you put everything else aside and you run the money for that card. So it's like, go back. So I think it's like just a lot of focus, discipline, and scheduling are the three things that I really, really have to get focus on.
We go back to time blocking then, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly
we haven't
what
talked
it
about
is.
time blocking in many days, calendared hours, in probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So maybe we should, that's great. See, thank you. That's what I'll work on with the other guys and gals here that need more help to scale. I'll go back to that because you're right. I haven't touched on that in 4 or 5 months.
I think a lot of the like essentials, because I still have the list that you gave me, the daily, the SOPs, the critical tasks. I still follow by that every single day. Every day I follow. Okay, maybe not like the book. But I think he said sell one book a day or something.
1 book a day.
On there. Okay, maybe I don't do that, but
do you know why I picked
on my
those
best?
5?
No, because that's what grew the Elliott. That's what grew the Elliott group.
That's it.
Yeah.
You do those 5, and you do them well. You'll never have a pipeline that's empty.
Yeah.
By the I can't believe you still do that. That's
Yeah,
so awesome.
I still do the birthday videos. I still DMing 50 people every day, right? DMing 50 people or
And
call
not to
or
sell
texting.
them.
Just check in. Hey, how are you? Just wanted to see how you've been.
Yeah.
And I still do it. And I really do think like by following that, it's created such a wave of motion of people. Like I had a guy the other day that called me who's on our coaching calls, the $99. And the guy called me and he goes, I watched your Wednesday call and I'm sick. I listened to what you said and I'm sick of everything in my life. So I'm willing to pay whatever to start training with you guys. And at first I'm like, come to a seminar. Couldn't make that work. So we put him on the Andy Elliott's Project 500.
Perfect.
And I was like, it's $399 a month. You're going to get access to everything and your calls. And he goes, let's do it. Great. And he's like, your story is so moving that I had to do this. And you know what's crazy is I asked him who signed him up for the Monday through Friday calls. And he goes, his story just didn't relate to me. I didn't feel a connection. And I think like that's why I make my coaching calls so vulnerable. Yeah. Like I am totally me. Yep. And I think that's powerful. That's the key too to business is being vulnerable. And like yesterday I'm shipping my dog off to my mom's house. So I had to say bye to my dog of 6 years. And I've invested over 10 grand in this dog with medical bills and surgeries. And I'm like buckling her up and I'm putting her in this kennel and I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's been through me with a lot of hardship, a lot of struggles, a lot of time. And I'm grateful she's going to my mom's house. So I can still go visit her, but it's different when you have an animal or something that's by you your whole, I mean, past 6 years since I've grown, and she's watched me grown and I've watched her grown.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in my car on my Zoom call in my car because I dropped her off at the carrier and I'm not here at the Lion's Den. So I propped my phone up and I'm on the edge of tears of talking about like, you got to be grateful for the things that are around you and have perspective, because right now I could be talking about like, oh, I'm going through a breakup and then I'm also moving and then I got to put up revenue and then Andy needs this. And then Andy says, record more content and I got to do this and all these, great. Now my dog, now I have to ship my dog. And instead of saying like, oh, poor me on all these things, I decided, and I talked about this on my call, how about I say, you know what? Lucy's got a good home to go to. You know what? I am going to put up more revenue today. I've got a media guy that's coming tomorrow. We're going to record more content. You know, I'm going to put up more revenue so I can help change some more lives. I got a new apartment now so I can buy brand new furniture.
I love
right?
that.
Like looking at the better, brighter things. And I sat there and I talked about that on my call of like, we get so caught up and feel like we're drowning.
Yeah.
Like all these things, and we're like trying to suffocate when it's like really things are going really well and you just don't give yourself enough credit for all those things.
That is true.
And yeah, so I make my calls just so vulnerable. And I think when people hear that, they can relate to that because everybody in sales is like drowning. They got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. So it's like, but we're human too. Like we want the mission just as bad. You know, we're on a mission to get what it is that we want, to have the best version and to be the best version of ourselves and become the most elite version of us. And, you know, you're going to have to go through those hard things that nobody else wants to go through. And that's what makes you great, is being undeniably the best, studying, training constantly. Because I know what I'm like when I step out of this environment for 3 or 4 days. You can almost feel something clicking.
Yeah.
Like being away last month for 4 days, it's almost weird. I'm like coming back and I have to like retrain my mouth again. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh wait. Like, like disconnecting. I don't like disconnecting.
Yeah.
So even when I am away, like physically from here, I'm always carrying books around with me, or I'm reading or checking in on calls, because I can't afford 1 day, let alone 4 days slip and not come back.
Good thing you're aware of that.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing to be aware of.
It's dangerous.
And you hold such a high standard for yourself. That keeps you in tune. But you hit the nail on the head. When I walk away and I'm out for a couple days, the rest of the world is slow.
Yeah.
Very slow motion, slow play. We created this reality. This is our reality now. And when I go outside of this reality, it's numbingly slow. So I don't enjoy it at all. That's why I stay plugged in, as much as I do. It's a powerful thing. And then you said something about the way you carry yourself. That's standard. You brought that here, and watching you elevate your standard, it's crazy. Your growth. And then this right here, this is very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
This right here. Did you talk about this yet and how you got that?
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah. Not on camera, we didn't. But that's pretty cool. We're twins.
She won that
We're
watch.
twins. Look at it.
Yeah. You have to do something massive in the company. The goal is set by Andy. And Andy and Jacqueline. And if you hit the goal, you get a nice watch like this. So congratulations on hitting that goal.
Appreciate it.
So I hit my goal 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty cool when you do that. It
It
means something. And how many of us have them now? 8?
Yeah, something like that. I remember Danny telling me, Danny is somebody who has the watch too. The player will always recognize the player. Yeah. And the game will find you. The game will find you. You don't find the game. The game will find you. And the players on the team know the players. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so when, like Andy always says, your eyes are the window to the soul. Yeah. Like, when you're looking at a player that is on fire, that has the watch, like you're facing that player. And it's like, you're not talking just to a random Joe Schmo, and
you can sense it.
Yeah.
You size them up.
Yeah.
I size people. I don't travel much. You guys travel a lot, right? You're on the road. So when I'm traveling, I get away from the den, I size people up. Always. I want to know, because everybody talks a really good game online, and I can tell who you are in public. So when I get to get out of the den this week, and I'm so excited to be going to Florida, and I judge everybody quick. I want to find out, like, I've been watching you online in a good way, or hey, I got to get the hell away from you way.
Yeah.
But when I see some of these people that we're going to meet this weekend, one of them used to be a mentor of mine, and it is not any longer, because they just don't carry the standard that they preach online versus how they are in public or in real life. So when I get out, I judge people quick. I size them up. I see the players.
That's funny.
And oh yeah, the way they carry themselves. I watch for the way the man treats his woman if he's with her. That's really crucial to me. If you're coming into my club, you're coming into my coaching, or if I would I would take your money as an investment to train with Andy. If you're not right in those areas, I don't bring you aboard. I don't need the money, won't do it. It's a very selective group going into Andy's inner circle, and we've turned 3 people down over the last week that we're going to pay high dollar to do so because we know they're not ready yet.
Yeah, right.
And that's cool. So when you say player on player,
Yep.
you can sense the player. Damn right you can.
You have to go through that.
You stand out, and you have to
go through that. Yeah, it's not somebody that found Andy yesterday who's 25 years old and he's got this huge, $1 billion solar company.
Yeah.
Like that's not somebody that's going to cut it. You have to go through the range. You haven't even come to a seminar. You haven't even seen Andy live. You've only seen him on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like what makes you think that you're qualified? So we're very selective.
So when you won that watch, did it mean what it thought it would mean? The feeling that you got, was it as special as you thought it would have been?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. And I knew it when the money came through is when I knew it. That was the feeling. I mean, getting the watch was great too, but it was the moment that the money, when I saw the number, the actual money, I'm like, oh man, like this is cool. Cause the rest of it is just going to be all fun and okay, bring Selena up here. Everybody hype her up. But I knew it was when that number hit, I was like, oh man.
And to Selena's credit, what she had to do had only been done by 4 men in the company out of 25 people. So she's now the 5th person to do this in the entire history of the company when it came to a goal based on sales and revenue and client acquisition. So that's special. It's like it wasn't a goal set for Selena because she's a woman. It's the goal for the standard of the company that you have to go hit. Most people won't hit it. They just won't. They won't hit it. They're going to be here for a few years, 3 years, and then they might have a shot at hitting this. Yep. But right now, to do what she did, we didn't give her some baby goal. We didn't give her a goal based on her woman. Or none of that shit. That's the goal. You hit it. Go hit it. And she did. So she's the 5th person. The first 4 have been with us since basically day one. And then Selena comes on board a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then hits this goal within a year. Normally it takes 2 or 3 years to hit this goal if you are very good in our company at what you do, because it's based on serving people, taking care of your clients. You don't do this number that she did without having a mass group of people that love Andy and then have fallen in love with you as well. Yes. You're not hitting this number without that. Your own little tribe of Selena's running around that love what she brings to the table, right?
Yeah, you got Shawn Bees. Yeah, I know, she's got Shawn Bees. I was a Shawn Bee. I still am a Shawn Bee. There's all the people that follow Shawn.
We got to get you a nickname for sure. Yeah, because it was powerful. Hitting that goal, I cried twice in this company, 3 times in this company. One when I got hired, the second time when I got my watch, and I teared up for her because I know how hard that is to get. Yeah. That's not just a $10,000 watch. It's not. Yeah. It's much more. It's the price.
Even if it was $1,
Right, true.
It's what it represents.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I loved it.